So this video is geared towards the female NCO. So I hope this video makes sense and I hope it works. I think it will make sense for the mommy soldier. I don't think anyone else gonna get it. The conversation is gonna be specifically geared to the female NCO. So let's go ahead and get into the tips on balancing the acts of being a female leader and a mother, a wife, a woman. Yeah, let's go. She doesn't really sleep long during the day. The lights on, kids are making noise. Is she high? Is she high, mama? So guys, let's talk about this. So the other day I was at work and I have 3 new medics. They've been in the Army maybe a year and they haven't really done any medical type stuff, right? And we're like creating a whole clinic. So I'm teaching them, I'm training them, but we're also having to do all the things to get the clinic up and running. So it's like 5,000 tasks and a handful of people. So I, am really like, you need to do this, I need you to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. So I'm in that mode, I am in NCO mode, period. And my husband called and I was like, hey babe. And I'm kind of talking to him the same way that I would talk to my soldiers. And I had to like snap out of it, sis, right? This is what we ain't gonna do, And of course, I try not to disrespect anyone, not even my soldiers. So I wasn't being disrespectful, but I was very to the point, matter of fact, because that was the mode that I was in, because I was in that mode of getting all these tasks done so we could meet our mission and have a good weekend. He called and I really had to snap myself out of it, like after like a few minutes on the phone, and switch to Renee the wife. And that happens not really necessarily that often, right? But sometimes it does happen when I'm in one mode or the other and I have to snap myself out because it doesn't fit. I can't talk to my children the way I talk to my husband. I can't talk to my husband the way I talk to my soldiers. I can't talk to my soldiers the way I talk to my husband or my children. So everyone has a different role in my life and a different way for me to communicate with them effectively. So how do you balance that? How do you balance being a mother and a wife and also an NCO, a leader, a non-commissioned officer? Because in order to be a leader, you have to be strong. You have to be someone that they trust because you are leading them. You are having a significant impact on their life, their finances, their career, right? They have to trust you with those things. Then they have to feel like that you're strong enough to lead them. If I was just this wimpy person who wasn't serious about her career, wasn't serious about her job, then my soldiers wouldn't care either. They would kind of get that same attitude, that laissez-faire attitude that I have as well. But that's not the case. I am very driven. I'm very goal-oriented, and they will have that same as far as their career and my formation, they're going to have those same values. So you have to be a certain way with your soldiers. And it's different than when the people that you love and that are at your home, So how do you balance? So the first thing that I do to balance my work life and my home life and me being the same person and going back and forth throughout the day, multiple times a day, I get up and go to work, come back home, go back to work, come back home. So how do you balance switching those hats? So the first thing for me is being self-aware. So if you've been on this channel, even for one video, I am all about the self-awareness journey. I feel like it never stops. You always want to continue to learn about yourself. So last weekend, we watched the Tyler Perry, The Last Farewell, and she was saying, she, he, they, it, Medea was saying how when you get married, you're married to like 7 people in your lifetime. It's because you're constantly evolving. Babe, I'm filming. Get out. Get out.
Where
are you going?
To the game. They pushed it up to 5.
Are you still taking Dylan?
Yeah.
Okay. He need to get dressed though. You're constantly evolving. So the person I was as soon as we got married, it's not the person I am today. I hope not, you know, because I feel like I've been growing and changing and maturing and just becoming this beautifully, you know, well-rounded woman, right? But it's not the same person that I'm going to be when I'm 40 and I'm 50 and I'm 65 and a grandmother, you know. So as I continue to progress in life and learn more, because when you know more, you do better, right? When you know better, you do better. I think that's it. So as I continue to grow, who I am will change. And that has to change for him. We have to continue to change and grow. The gray hoodie, the pants, and the sweatshirt. Y'all, I'm gonna be back. So self-awareness is a lifelong journey. You can never just kind of leave yourself by the wayside and be like, oh, I learned all there is to know about me and keep going. It is constant. Whether you're in a bad space, whether you're in a good space is the best time, you know, because you're in a good place. This is where I want to be. I'm doing all the things I want to do. What's changed? How do I stay here? You know, so that's number one, self-awareness. Continuing to peel back the layers and get to know yourself as you evolve throughout your life. So the second thing to balancing is understand that there are different roles that you play, right? So I know I am an NCO, right, at work. I am also a subordinate. So when my provider is talking to me, I go from this, you know, I can talk to my soldiers one way and I can talk to them one way. So that's a different role. The respect is still there because the relationship that has been established, but I'm the subordinate in that moment. And then I'm a wife and I'm a mother, I'm a friend, I'm an aunt, I'm a cousin, I'm a lover to my husband. I said wife though, right? I'm just going with it. But I'm all these other things, and how I deal with all those different people are different. So when I talk to my sister, the conversation is loud. We're, you know, just loud and funny and just all over the place. When I talk to my best friend, you know, we're not as loud, you know, but we're talking, you know, it's just different, you know, when I'm talking to my husband, when I'm talking to my mother, when I'm talking to my kids, it's a different role that you're playing in all these people's life. And you have to acknowledge that you are slightly different. So I don't like those people who are like totally different chameleons in different scenarios. Regardless of the people in my life who you see me with, I will always be Renee. I'm always funny. I'm always kind of the life of the party. You know, I always am this same person, but what they each pull from me is a little bit different. And that's why the conversation on FaceTime or the phone might be a little bit different. But who I am is the same, if that makes sense. So there's different roles and places. And that's the second one, being aware of that, understand that, and allowing yourself to be pulled in different, you know, pieces of you pulled differently from other people is fine. You know, that's part of life. We have so many different layers and so much history with different people and not so much history with other people. I'm not the same with my sister, who I have known since I was freaking 14, as I am with someone who I might have known, you know, maybe the last year. It's just not the same situation because there's different history, different background, different inside jokes, you know. So knowing that you have these different relationships is my number two to balancing the different relationships. So the third thing for balancing the different relationships and hats that you wear is triggers. So understanding when they're starting to mingle. I started this off with a conversation about my husband. He called me while I was at work and I was in like true work mode, and I had to like snap out of it. The first when I got on the phone, I didn't realize it. I just was talking to him, but I was talking to him in a manner as if he were one of my soldiers or someone else that I was given a task to do. And I had to pull myself out of it and snap myself out back and say, hey, that's your husband. I need you to bring it back, sis. And I did instantly, because it's not a problem, because it's so easy for the different hats to mingle and mesh. And sometimes that's okay. Sometimes my kids need Sergeant James to show up to the house. They do. They need a little extra structure, right? They need the eyebrow. They need all of that. They need that no nonsense. This is what you're going to do in this time period. or we're gonna have a problem. But most of the time they get mommy, right? Mommy gotta tell you a couple more times, it's fine. Mommy's gonna give you warnings and stuff like that. But then Sergeant James shows up and we correct everything. So it's okay for them to mingle sometimes, but for the majority of the time, not really. So you have to be able to have these triggers that cue you to, hey, okay, I need to bring it back. I'm in the wrong category of who I am. Let me fix it. And then the fourth one is allowing the people who are in your life to set you straight. So sometimes if I'm just being too matter of the fact, if I'm just being Sergeant James like too much and the kids haven't really done anything, my son will say, hey, Ma, so, I mean, you talking intimidating. You being intimidating when you're speaking. And I'll be like, okay, so Sergeant James must have showed up, you know? And it's crazy to talk about yourself like in a third person like that, but there are different hats and different roles, and they kind of do click in on and off. So it's okay. I'm not crazy, I promise. But when that happens, and I just say, oh, you know, I'm sorry, baby. And, you know, we just go about our day, but it makes me more self-aware, number one, of what space I'm in. Maybe I have a deadline that's coming up the next day, or maybe it's been a crazy day at work and I really haven't put it down yet because I know I have a lot going on, a lot more to do. So there are reasons, and I will tell you guys at the end how I cope with them. And number 5 is having coping mechanisms for getting out of the hat that you're wearing if you feel like you're stuck. So a lot of times, most of the time, it's only my work. I get stuck at work in my mind. I'm in Sergeant James mode. There's so much going on. I have a project. I have a no-fail mission. I have things that are, you know, coming up. I can't forget. There's so much going on that I have to do and taking care of everyone. And then also right now I'm at home. I have to cook dinner. I have to take care of the baby, and I have to do laundry, and I have to do all these things. So what I have found to cope with that is taking notes. So notes has helped me. So at the end of my day at work, if I'm able to, I have a section in my planner that I do for tomorrow. So I'll write down all the things that I haven't been able to complete today that I have to push to tomorrow. And I'll write down everything that has been new, that has been put on my plate today that I need to do tomorrow, right? Or the next few days. So I do that. It kind of gives me this brain dump that allows me to, when I leave work, to leave and put on the hat of being mommy, right? Sometimes it still lingers. I'm at home and I still just have not put that down because there are so many things I have to do. So another thing I'll do is I'll do another brain dump. And this will typically be what I need to do for the next morning. Say I need to make sure I grab something, or I have something to give someone else, or I need to make sure I wear this. I'll make a note in my phone and I will write down all those things, and just on my alarm and say, check your notes. And that'll mean there's something that I just need to make sure I don't forget in the morning. And then once I'm able to do that and completely brain dump the things that I don't want to forget, I'm able to transition out of Sergeant James and move into mommy. So I hope this video makes sense, and I hope it works. I think it will make sense for the mommy soldier. I don't think anyone else gonna get it, because we are the ones, I'm at home cooking with my boots still on, because yeah, I've worked all day and it's crazy, but I still have this family I have to feed and these kids I have to take care of. So I have to find a way to balance both. And these hopefully are some ways to help you balance being a mommy and being an NCO, or aspiring to be an NCO. That's okay. It takes time to get there, you know? So you never want to put yourself in a box where you can't learn to lead before you're a leader, because that's just going to make you a great leader. So thank you guys. I am Renee. Please make sure you like and subscribe, join the family, and I will see you guys in the next video.